Heyo! Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Perils and Princesses. These are our princesses. I am the peril. We are going to do some introductions of ourselves because we don't have characters yet. We're going to build them on stream. So, let's start with Kipser. Who are you and what is your favorite Disney princess?
My name is Kipser. Hello. I am from Canada, and sometimes I shove that in people's faces. I have healthcare. And and you know what? Mulan is really hard to beat. She has been my favorite for a long time.
Awesome. We'll keep it going clockwise, which brings us to the princess that most people are most excited to meet here, I think. Aaron, who's your favorite Disney princess?
I am going to be a pretty princess on the inside, deep inside. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm partial to old school Disney, so I'm going to go Snow White. If I have to pick a princess, but I usually erred on the side of the villain. So, I mean, I'm more of a Maleficent killing everybody kind of guy, but Snow White, she was pretty cool.
Is Maleficent your favorite Disney villain as well?
She's pretty far up there. Yeah. I respect real evil.
Keep it going to Melissa.
Yes, Melissa. I am not so much a Disney princess type necessarily.
Okay, I'm not letting you repeat Marvel where you say your favorite Disney princess is your mom, because that's not going to fly this time.
No, that's not going to fly. I don't know. I'm literally Googling, and I was going to say Snow
Cinderella?
White, and then Aaron says Snow White.
Oh, sorry. I suck.
I could.
You could double
Were you going to say
down.
Snow White because it was the first thing that showed up when you Googled it?
Oh,
No, the first one on the list is Raya. That's not the order that happened. So I'll just say Cinderella just because I saw Cinderella a lot as a kid. So I'll just go with Cinderella then.
One of these days, I'm going to run a game in the genre that you want to play, Melissa. It's not going to be today, but eventually we'll get there.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's just these questions, and I'm always like, meh, words.
It's good. It's going to be Mark Borg, right? I mean, that's it. She's full on acid
Death
murder.
metal. Yeah.
yeah, full berserker.
Jeff, wrap us up here.
Yeah, man. My favorite. Wow. I could talk about Disney princesses for hours, apparently. But if I had to pick one, I would go Ariel from A Little Mermaid, because I love The Little Mermaid because the music was so freaking good. And I didn't really like Ariel all that much, but she's in it, so by default she gets it. Though I also think Sleeping Beauty is pretty cool because she sleeps, and that's something I could use as a little bit of that. So I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, a little bit more sleep.
Well,
Yeah,
Ariel
I could go
stops
for that.
talking, so why don't you just start emulating her there, and then we'll get into character creation.
Wow.
We are
Sorry, I
feeling
couldn't help it.
spicy today.
That was too harsh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Steven, what's your favorite princess?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I have to answer that, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
I was like Jasmine too. She was cool.
Jasmine is good. Yeah, there are some excellent villains as well, I will say.
I think I would also say Mulan. Mulan is pretty bad.
She's hard to beat.
Yeah, like she climbed that post, when no one else could, because she's strong and smart, and she can use a fucking sword like that. Yeah, I'd go with Mulan, and she has a pet dragon. That's pretty cool.
That's true. Of course, the dragon might think of himself as a spiritual ancestor, might be a little irritated by being called a pet dragon, but I digress.
You stop being a pet when you're like over 3 feet long. So let's start with character creation. And we're going to go in clockwise order. And Jeff is not going to talk the rest of the session out of spite. Kipser, let's go ahead and roll to see your name, the name of your princess.
Okay. I rolled a 19, so I am Sage or Gray. I will be Sage.
And where are you from?
I'm gonna grab. All right. I am from 15. I am from Crescent, and then 3 Crescent Crossing.
So Sage of Crescent Crossing. And roll a d8 for me as well. We're going to do your fairy godmother at the same time. Who is your fairy godmother?
All right. What dice? We'll do this one. 5. My fairy godmother is a beloved ancestor. Oh, there we go. I am Mulan. Appreciated you through visions in your dreams.
All right. Fantastic. And we'll skip over to Aaron.
Cool.
What is your name? Where are you from? And who's your fairy godmother?
Okay, I got a 13. So my name is Flora or Heart. So I guess we're going to go with Flora, Flo, Princess Flo. And 2 more d20s, right?
Yes, 2 more.
14. Oh, these are such hard dice to read. A 14 and a 19. So I am Flo of Mossy Falls.
And roll a d8 to figure out who your fairy godmother is.
Sorry about that. A 6. A 6 is a mystical crone, the keeper of profound secrets. All right.
Fantastic, fantastic. We'll go in the same order we introduced in. Melissa, what is the name of your princess? Where are you from?
Okay,
Who's your
so
fairy godmother?
I rolled a 12, which is Daisy or Aster. So I'm going to go with Aster. I rolled a 19, which is Daydream, and a 15, which is Gate. So I am Princess Aster of Daydream Gate. And I rolled a 3 for Fairy Godmother, which is a shape changer who appears and disappears without a trace.
Fantastic. Getting some intrigue in there. And Princess Jeff, who I sincerely apologize to, would you grace us with your voice?
I am Rosabella of, let's see, Misty Summit. Rosabella of Misty Summit. Let me remember that. And then my fairy godmother was a D8. Is a noble fairy queen, striking and hauntingly beautiful.
Fantastic. Let's go and find out the gifts that each of your princesses are endowed with. Starting with Sage here. Roll a d8 for me.
Certainly. Oh, I rolled a 1. You have a wild heart. Because of your animalistic nature, you can call upon woodland creatures and summon them to your aid.
Awesome. So I would like to say let's not have any duplicate gifts. So if you roll something that someone else already has, let's just re-roll it. And Flora.
7. You've kindled a powerful friendship with a devoted animal familiar who stays by your side to offer you aid, advice, and company. Powerful
Fantastic.
friendship.
Melissa?
I rolled a 4, Elemental Connection. I apologize. Did you have that one, Kipser?
No, she did not.
Wild heart.
Okay, perfect. All right. So then I have an elemental connection with nature. A particular element is a friend of yours. It will come to your aid and bend to your imagination. This power is strong and deep and sometimes hard to control.
Fantastic. Jeff, what is your gift?
Let's see. Melissa, you had elemental collections. Let me re-roll.
Yep.
I keep rolling 4s, apparently. Does anyone have kitchen magic?
They do
Okay,
not.
so I know kitchen magic from spending my youth foraging and cooking. I have intimate knowledge of magical flora and can make herbal concoctions, not to mention a mean huckleberry pie. The treats you bake have a reputation for being more than what they seem.
Very nice.
Very, very nice.
I am
And
excited
now-
someone is playing the kitchen magic one.
And it feels right to be with Jeff too, after his Cloud Empress character.
Yeah.
But now we're doing a curveball. The game suggests that if you're doing a one-shot, you consider going up to level 2. And there are optional rules for multi-classing as well. So we're going to go in reverse order here. Jeff, if you'd like, you can take the second gift from Kitchen Magic, or you can take the first gift from any gift that has not been chosen yet.
I am going to focus my role. I'm very much the type of player who likes a very defined role. And so I'm going to go second level of Kitchen Magic.
All right. Princess Aster, how about you?
Sorry. So we would need to go a little bit farther in the book then to find the second level of this, I suppose.
Which you had elemental. Your pages are 20 and 21. That includes all your items and your special abilities. So right now at level 1, you have the top one with number 1, and then it just goes in order. So you get up to 4 levels in the same class.
Okay, so right now I can shape. So I can manipulate an amount of my element and form it to into a specific shape. Level 2, I can fire a 5-foot wide elemental blast in a straight line anywhere within stone's throw. So that sounds cool. I will also level up within my gift.
Awesome. Flora, would you like to level up in your gift, or would you like to multi-class?
I'll stick with my gift too. I'll go to level 2 in that.
Got a lot of loyal characters here. Kipser, how about you?
I'm also going to get a level 2 in Wild Heart, which means I get to give a little whistle and I get to roar. So that sounds pretty sweet.
Fantastic. We're sticking vanilla. That's fine. It was an optional rule anyways. You know, I didn't want to see anyone multi-class, see how it worked. It's okay. I won't be too sad here. So we have our gifts. And that tells you that what your special ability is. It gives you your innate abilities, your items, your talents. You get to choose a talent as well, along with what it gives you. Kipser, let's start with you. What talents do you have?
So as a Wild Heart, I get hunting, fishing, and wayfinding as my talents.
And you don't necessarily have to go through it all, but what are your innate abilities?
So my innate abilities is to whisper. So apparently everybody else has to yell throughout this entire campaign. But no, what it actually means is I can speak with animals and intuit their feelings. And then I'm a natural climber. So I'm good at climbing and I'm good at insight checks on animals.
Fantastic. Flora, what are your talents and innate abilities?
My talents are healing, carousing, so apparently I'm a party girl, and gardening. And my innate abilities are fast friends. I have advantage on any virtue test to make friends, negotiate truces, ask for favors, etc. And then my burden is spend time in conversation with someone to remove a curse, trauma, ailment, or injury from them and take it onto yourself.
Fantastic.
I think this is our first time Aaron's played like the full healer class for us.
No, I have the ability to heal.
Oh,
I'm not necessarily healing any of you.
My bad.
It's so confusing. I don't even understand where you would come up with that stuff.
I know. I don't know why I even went there.
Aster, get us back on the rails here.
Sorry. So my talents are alchemy, astronomy, and then a talent of my choice that relates to my chosen element. So the elements can be classical, fire, earth, air, or water, or more whimsical things like candy, books, or flowers, which is super cool. But I think I'm going to go air for mine. So I'll figure out what talent that would be that has to do with air things. And then my innate abilities, I have resistance. So any damage or malady caused by my chosen element is reduced by half. And at level 4, I'm completely immune. And then also affinity, I can speak to my element and they may communicate via pantomime, messages, symbols, feelings, intuition, and the like.
Fantastic. Jeff, what are your princesses talents and innate abilities.
Okay, so talents, I've got cooking, baking, and foraging. I mean, I'm not quite as essential as a healer, but like I'm pretty close. I think I'm pretty close. And then my innate abilities are forager. I can find fresh food in most terrain, and I know how to identify magical plants. Once per day, I can spend time scrounging for ingredients to replace a spent gift die. And then I also have tea. I always have the herbs for making tea in a pocket somewhere. This doesn't have to take any inventory space. When I spend time in brew a cup, I can read the leaves to divine the answer to a single yes or no question.
Fantastic. That's great. And we already kind of talked about special abilities. I'm going to save those reveals for when we finally use them in game. So let's move back to Kipser and let's roll your stats. So stats in this game are pretty simple. You have resolve, which is your courage in the face of danger. You have grace, which is your poise under pressure. And you have wits, which is your mental toughness. For each virtue, you roll 4d4 in order.
Okay. I've made the blunder. I thought 3 sets of dice would be enough for me. So I'm going to have to roll one of my d4s twice. I am ashamed. 4 to 2. Is this roll 4 and drop the lowest?
No, it's just all 4.
Okay. 4 to 2, 4. So I have 12 right now, and you may then choose to reroll a single stat or swap values for 2 stats.
Right, you got to roll all 3 first. So you have 12 for your resolve.
Yes. Let me just make sure I am writing that down. Okay, I'm going to roll for my grace. Oh, ouch. 2, 2, 3. So 7, 9 on grace, which makes sense if I'm a wild thing. And then wits, 4, 2, 2. So I've got 8, and I will reroll, 9 on wits.
So 12, 9, 9, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. So now you can choose to re-roll a single stat, or you can swap values for 2 if you'd like.
I'm just reminding myself. So just for the audience, resolve is courage in the face of terror, channeling your emotions into physical action, being brave and enduring pain using a sword. Grace is poise under pressure, moving deftly and dexterously, carefully navigating hazards, both social and natural, aiming a bow and arrow. And then wits is mental toughness, being resourceful with your knowledge of the world, having the emotional willpower to tap into your innate magic, reacting quickly to danger. Now, as a wild thing, my main abilities, I think I'm more of a melee fighter, so I might keep my resolve at 12 and my other 2 at 9, because I think I need to be a little bit more close range. So for now, I will leave it as is.
You don't want to re-roll one of the 9s?
Oh, yes, I would like to re-roll one of the 9s. I got distracted by talking to myself. Ouch. Okay, well, I already only have 4, so there's no way it's going to beat a 9 already. So,
it's a re-roll though, so I think you have to keep what you re-roll with. So what's that 4th die going to be?
Okay. So that is an 8. So it's 1 down. Okay. I'll take an 8 on grace.
Okay. Flora, let's get some stats for you.
I've got an 8 in resolve, an 11 in grace, and a 13 in wits.
Did you already swap?
No, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to go lower. I don't want to go lower than 8.
That's fair. That's fair.
It sucks.
To me?
Yes.
Sorry. So Aster, I've got, and sorry, I was rolling and half paying attention. I have a 13 for resolve, a 13 for grace, and an 18 for wits.
What do you have for grace? Did I
13.
hear that wrong?
Yeah, 13, 13, 18.
Okay. How'd you get an 18?
I rolled.
Are you rolling d4s?
I got a 6, a 5, a 4, and a 3.
Okay, so the 6 is the one that kind of confuses me on a d4.
Oh, crap.
And a 5.
No, I did all of those wrong. The HP, I did roll a d4, but yes, that's not how that works. Okay, come back to me, please. Sorry, got to reroll.
Oh yeah, Jeff already got it. Melissa cheats at board games. Let's go ahead and move to Jeff while she's getting the dice out.
Okay, so I have 11 in resolve, 11 in grace, and 13 in wits. And I'm not going to switch any because wits I think I want highest anyway, and the other two are the same, so they seem fine. And after learning from Kipser's debacle with rerolling, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hold tight with that. And then I rolled 8 HP. I rolled max heart points. I rolled it 4 on D4 plus 4. So
Nice.
Good. Yeah.
While Melissa's still rolling, Kipser, how much did you roll for heart points?
I am going to roll a d4 plus 4. I'm going to roll a 1, so I get 5.
Do we get the extra D4 because we're level 2?
I was going to say no to keep it interesting here. We're just going to do the extra gift. Aaron, did you roll heart points?
I did. And much like Kipser, I rolled a 1. I have 5.
I'm thinking this might be the game where I finally get a kill in. That's what I'm hoping. You know, been running Tuesdays for a year now, and I haven't gotten a single kill. So maybe tonight's the night. Not with the way Melissa rolls, though, because, you know.
I did re-roll all D4s this time. Yeah. So 12, 8, and 8 are what I got. So I've got a 12 in resolve, an 8 in grace, and an 8 in wits.
Would you like to re-roll one of those 8s and hope for a higher number?
So if resolve is channeling emotions into physical actions, that sort of feels a little bit like doing some sort of elemental kind of a thing. So I think I'll leave it there. We'll see.
That's where you're leaving the 12, but you could re-roll one of your stats if you would like.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. It's a trick.
It's a trap.
I'm going to take the bait and
on average, you will roll better than an 8 total on 4d4.
Especially when you're rolling 46.
Yeah, you're probably rolling like a 15 or something.
I'm going to reroll with my 44. And get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So
okay, and where's that 7 going?
I told you it was a trap.
Worse. I said it was going to be wet, so that's what I've got. So, yeah, fell into the trap and it hurt.
Fantastic. Roll one more D4 for me
to
get
that
your
already.
Hit points. Okay.
I had rolled that appropriately the first time around, and I did roll a 4, and I'm not re-rolling that, so I have 8 HP.
All right. And let's go ahead and figure out our personalities. So you're going to roll 3d6 here, and each d6 is going to be on a different table, and roll a d20 as well. We're going to find out what people notice about you on the first glance, what those close to you think, and then secretly deep down what you are. And then you also will learn what really motivates you. So when you roll those, let's just hear the full sentence. Sage?
So at first glance, people notice my playful and sense of whimsy. I rolled a 6. Then those close to me think I am strong-willed and courageous. I rolled 1. And then secretly, deep down, I am bottled up all of my rage. Also, what really motivates me is finding love.
Ho, ho, ho.
I know, right?
Flora, what's your personality?
At first glance, people notice my unconventional beauty. Those close to me think I am savvy and diplomatic, but secretly, deep down, in the places nobody wants to see, I love to indulge my vices, and they are freaky. What really motivates me is amassing knowledge of the dark arts.
What happens in the princess's tower stays in the princess's tower.
Fact.
Aster, who are you?
At first glance, people notice I rolled a 3, deeply kind, enchanting eyes. Those close to me think I'm 3, wild and fierce. Secretly, deep down, I, also 6, love indulging in vices. And what really motivates me is 2, gaining respect.
Fantastic. And that brings us to our last princess with dragonflies in her hair. What's your personality, Jeff?
Well, at first glance, people notice my wildly beautiful, messy hair. Those close to me think I'm wise beyond my years. Secretly, deep down, I want all the gossip I can get. And what really motivates me is enacting justice.
Is that why you want the gossip so you can act on it?
That is why I want the gossip.
I
So I
see.
can right things that have been put wrong.
All right. And the next tables, I'm going to have you roll the D20 and then D6 and a D20 again. So we're going to figure out your talent and the first parts of your stuff. So Sage, roll that first D20 for us.
The first one is a 10. Athletics or lock picking. I think I got to take athletics at this point in time. I'm not sneaky.
Fantastic. And then the D6 and the D20 to see what you're wearing.
I've got to pick the right D6 and the right D20 so they give me the good clothes to wear that fit my character, right? It all matters which ones I choose. No, we'll go with this guy. Okay. I've got a 1 and a 4. So the 1, okay, well, an urchin. Oh, and
that was the good clothes, right?
Yeah, that's the good clothes. And with the 4, I do actually get heavy armor, which is great.
So no one can see the urchin clothes underneath your heavy chainmail.
Looking for love.
Flora, what is your talent and what are you wearing?
I got an 18 on my talent, so it was fortune telling or falconry. So I went with falconry because I've already got a friend, so it might as well be a falcon. And then I got a 5 on my clothes, which I'm dressed like a nomad with a falcon. And then I got a 20 on my armor roll, which is no armor. So I'm a nomadic falconer who is going to die early.
Fantastic. Aster?
So I rolled an 11 on the talent table, which is either brewing or courtly etiquette. I picked courtly etiquette, which then worked because on the next one I rolled a 6, which means I'm dressed like a noble. So that goes together. And then for the D20 for armor, I rolled a 12, which is light armor.
Awesome. And Jeff?
Okay, so on the talent, I rolled an 8, which is carpentry or brewing. I'm just gonna go full into it and just say brewing. I do everything else, so everything seems to fit.
Kitchen magic.
Yeah,
Brewing.
and then I'm dressed like a pilgrim, so I get hooded cloak and leather boots. That's a 3, and then I haven't actually done my armor, so I'm gonna do that now. Okay, that is a natural 20, so I get no armor, just the clothes on my back.
Fantastic. And Jeff, I'm sorry, I already forgot your princess name. What was it?
It is Rosabella of Misty Summit.
And along with all of that stuff, all princesses have some starting equipment that includes some silver pieces. You all can roll 3d6 and just mark it on your sheets. You also get some torches, trail food, a bedroll, tinderbox for starting fire, and a big purse or knapsack. Which leads us to, what's in your purse, Sage? Go ahead and give me 3d20
3d20. Sorry, I'm busy making buckets of money. I got a 15 on my goal. Just wanted to put that out there.
I did too.
Oh, nice. We're rich. We're rich and going out to find love while someone gossips about us.
I love it.
All right, 3d20. That is, oh, interesting. Okay. So the first dice is a 9, which is in my purse. I have hammer and chisel. And just marking that on my character sheet. And then I've got a 1, which is a phial of perfume. And then an 11, which is a sad music box. Oh no, I'm real sad about my romance. Okay.
All right, and then you also get a bonus item. So go ahead and roll a d20, and then you get to choose from the column, depending on what you rolled. But we'll go ahead and move on while you look through the column and decide. So Flora, what's in your purse?
So if you look at my purse, and it's a big purse, it's a nomad's purse. I mean, this thing is it's your grandmother's knitting bag there. I got grandma's cure-all for column 1. On column number 2, I got 8, which is a pouch of fiery peppers. And on column 3, I got a 17, which is my trusty corkscrew.
Fantastic. And then go ahead and roll your d20 for the bonus item column, and we'll get to that in a second. Aster.
Yeah, so I got 11 on the first column, which is a fishing kit. I am apparently a noble princess that fishes. On column 2, I got a 17, which is a box of rosewater candy. And then on column 3, I re-rolled because I also got a sad music box, but that would be boring to get the same thing. So I re-rolled and instead got a rusty old key.
All right. And go ahead and figure out your bonus item while Rosabella tells us what's in her purse.
Okay, so on the first one, I got a 6, which is a grappling hook. Anyone else get a grappling hook? Okay, no. So I got a grappling hook. The second, I got a satchel of herbal tea, which is definitely in line. And then for number 3, because of course I rolled this, I got finely stitched underwear.
Yeah.
Which I like the titles at the top, because it's I always carry my, glad I remembered my, and how did this get in here?
So how did the finely stitched underwear get in your purse?
I gotta be prepared.
What's the tea, Jeff?
What's the tea?
Oh, what's the tea?
Herbal tea.
I see what you did there.
It's probably, oh yeah, because it's got, yeah, okay. But no, seriously though, the tea is probably like chamomile or something. It's really nice. It's going to calm us all down. Every time we get in a fight, I'm just going to offer them some tea and it's going to be like a mind control spell.
Mind control.
Lovely.
Sage, tell us what your bonus item is, and then roll a d12 and tell us what your weapon is.
Since I am lovelorn, I am pulling the fortune telling cards from the 3rd column, if no one has those.
They're all yours.
All right. And then, sorry, a D12, you say? Let me grab D10, D12. There it is. That is an 8. So let me take a look here. I am getting a dagger. I do a D6 damage, easy, concealed, can test grace instead of resolve when attacking.
Right. And Flora, what is your bonus item and what is your weapon?
So I just went ahead and rolled my bonus item just because I love the randomness of this madness. And I have a well-loved teddy bear as my bonus item. Because who doesn't need to have their teddy bear with them when they go out to, amass dark knowledge? And my weapon, of course, was a 2. So I am the master of the frying pan.
Samwise. Fantastic. Aster, what is your bonus item? What are you wielding?
So my bonus item is from column 1, so what I always carry. Excuse me, and that is a writing set. So I think that kind of works. Now, in terms of what I'm wielding, I rolled, but I did also get a dagger that was listed in like the things that I got when I made my character. So I already had a 1d6 dagger, and I additionally rolled a 1d8 sword. So fancy princess in noble clothes with a writing kit and rosewater candy and a shiny sword.
Fantastic. And finally, Rosabella, what was your bonus item and what are you wielding?
Okay. So my bonus item, I have ruby red lipstick, ruby red lip color, in my purse next to my finely stitched underwear, in my grappling hook. I'm getting a weird vibe about Rosabella. And then for her weapon,
You're a popular girl.
I rolled a battle axe. So I'm carrying around a battle axe.
Oh, that's so good.
Makes no sense.
No.
So
I feel like you and Flora swapped at some point, and somehow Flora
don't
has
know
your
what
frying
happened.
pan, and you have
We can
Flora's
switch. I'm
battle
more than happy to
axe.
switch. Yeah.
If you want a dagger instead of a battle axe,
I do
I
have a
am
cooking
mostly-
knife. I have a cooking knife though, but thank you.
okay.
I feel like the battle axe is just like a giant meat cleaver or something
That's
along those lines.
That's a great way to flavor it. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Those are our characters. We're all done there. So I'm going to briefly go over just the mechanics of the game. You have the 3 virtues that we've already gone over, your resolve, your grace, and your wits. Almost any time that you take an action or when you're defending, you're going to test one of your virtues. The way this happens is you roll a d20 and you try to roll under your score. Roll your score or lower, equal to or less than. Sometimes you'll have advantage or disadvantage on a roll. That means you roll 2d20s and use the lower roll if you have advantage. Disadvantage is 2d20s and using the higher roll. You all have gift dice, which are d6. And when you want to use your special ability, you choose how many of your gift dice you wish to roll. Rolling more dice puts more energy into your ability and makes the effect stronger, but increases the chance of a mishap. So when you're using your gift dice, if you roll a 1, 2, or 3, they stay with you and you can use them again. When you roll a 4, 5, 6, they're used up for the day and you cannot use them until you rest. And if you roll doubles, a mishap occurs. So the more dice you have, the better chance you have of getting doubles, and then the better chance of a mishap. But you could have more powerful abilities. You also have heart dice, which are d4. You can spend any number of heart dice when you picnic or spend time to recover HP. The total number rolled is how much you recover up to your maximum. You can also spend your heart dice to help a friend succeed at a virtue test. So if a friend rolls a d20 and fails, you can spend one of your heart dice and describe how you aid them at the last second. You roll your heart die and subtract it from your friend's d20 roll, possibly turning that failure into a success. There are 3 ailments that you can have while you're adventuring, and each ailment is tied to a virtue and gives you disadvantage on that virtue. The first ailment is weary, which gives you disadvantage on resolve. Second ailment is woozy, which gives you disadvantage on grace. And then the third ailment is befuddled, which gives you disadvantage on wits. Usually these ailments go away if you just take some time and rest and recover. If they're magical, then you might have to find a magical way to get rid of it. We are not going to deal with most of the advancement mechanics. I did give you the bonus gift, but for the most part, we're not going to get extra gift dice or do more heart dice or anything like that. That is the majority of the mechanics. When we get into a fight, we can explain a little bit more about that, but most of it is just rolling the virtues. So let's get into the overview here. We are playing the Rosewood Crown, which is the introductory adventure in the back of the book. So no one scroll past page 88. Honor system here. You're all princesses. None of you can lie. Once upon a time, there was a princess named Alicia who ruled over the humble village of Willowbrook, nestled amidst the lush embrace of the forest. The villagers of Willowbrook revered Princess Alicia, and she was their guardian. Her rosewood crown, a gift from her fairy godmother, gave her the ability to channel the powers of nature and protect the villagers from harm. But even in the most enchanting of tales, darkness has a way of slithering into the hearts of the unsuspecting. A cruel conjurer, Velisar, preyed upon the princess's kindness. He stole the princess's crown for his own nefarious purposes and broke her heart. Vanishing into the depths of the forest, the sorcerer left no trace behind, leaving the princess bereft, her heart heavy with sorrow. Ages have passed, and the crown was forgotten. The only relic of Princess Elysia is a moss-covered statue in the town square, with Elysia's mournful likeness carved in stone. A princess without a crown. Recently, strange occurrences have been frightening the villagers. Crops suddenly rot. Groups of deer and rabbits flee the nearby forest. Reports of strange sounds and mysterious disappearances put everyone on edge. Furthermore, each of you have been plagued by the same dream. You see visions of Princess Elysia beckoning you to a giant tree in the clearing deep in the forest. I'm going to put it on you all here. All of you are princesses, probably not from Willowbrook, but you might have been in Willowbrook. You have all gathered together here to make this journey to find Princess Elysia's crown. How did you connect with each other? How did you decide to group up together? And let's go ahead and say that each one of you connected with another one. And I'm going to start rolling randomly. Aaron. Flora was the first to make a connection with someone, and that was to Aster. How did you approach her?
Well, you see, I just didn't know any other princesses around, but dearie, I had heard of this most wonderful princess. Her name was Aster. I said to myself, well, dear Flora, if there's going to be anybody who's going to be your friend, it's going to be somebody with the name of Aster. So I hunted her down, and I crept into her bedroom while she was asleep, and I put my little hand over her face, and I had my falcon in my other hand, and I said, wake up, dear Aster, your best friend has come to take you away on an adventure. And then I tied her up, and I threw her over my shoulder, and I carried her out of her bedroom window, and we have been inseparable ever since.
Let's not delve too deeply into any of that. We don't need to unpack it in our one shot here. Aster, at some point you were able to break free from Flora for a minute to make a new friend with Sage.
So Aster has the gift of air. So really all she had to do was kind of like burst the air and make a hole and just like tumble right up the back. So she was on her own up very quickly and just said like, well, hello, you could have just invited me, but
Well,
so
dearie, that was my way of inviting you. My sweet Aster. You just don't know.
But
if I hadn't been inviting you, I'd have used the frying pan.
Well, yes, that would have been a different option, but let me show you how it's done. And so Aster found Sage of Crescent Crossing by basically kind of, she does, I'm going to say basically sort of airbending type of things because air is her kind of element. And so she goes to wherever she found Sage and she takes some of those rosewater candies out of her bag. And she basically, with the air, makes this sort of moving sort of bouquet with the rosewater candies. And yes, Princess Sage, I do believe that your presence is requested on our mission.
Oh, is that? And Sage will immediately try to consume anything that you've put in front of her. So in this instance, rosewater candies and a bouquet. And she'll go, yes, hello. Appreciated. I am here. Are you in love with me?
Well, I have just met you. So
Yes.
perhaps given time, but it is much
I am
too
a
early
princess.
to tell.
Okay.
As am I, as is Flora. So you
Hello.
might need something different to set yourself apart from the other princesses in your side quest to the main quest.
You like fresh meat?
Speaking of fresh meat there, dearie me, you have a bit of it, I'm thinking, and some fur attached to it still in your teeth. That's much better. Much better.
Thank you. I'm learning.
And now that
yes,
we're
we
learning,
can see
people
that.
are way too forward with Aster. Sage, you have already met someone who you know would be perfect for this journey. You already know Rosabella. How did you meet her previously?
There's another princess that's been lost in the woods. I've been giving her bad directions for a while, and then I go and meet up with her again. And sometimes she has more food for me. This is Rosabella. I don't remember where she's from.
Oh my God, I've told you like so many times. I'm from Misty Summit. Oh my gosh, your directions are wrong again. Like every time you send me in the direction, it's not the right place.
Rosabella, that is such a lovely name.
It's okay. Like, I'm not like overly enthused with it, but it's fine. It's fine. It's just like my mom's name was like Rosabella. So like they called me Rosabella, which makes me like Rosabella II. But no one really ever does that with like, you know, princesses. They only do that with like princes, like Prince Edward I and like King Edward II, but they never do like Princess Rosabella II. So it kind of bothers me.
Is that tea that you have in your bags?
No, that's my underwear. Why are you looking at my bag so much?
And Rosabella, as this group approaches you, you realize that you recognize one of the three. Flora, you have already met before. What was your encounter with her?
Oh my God. I met Flora like out in the woods because like Sage just gave me the wrong directions. And so I thought, hey, well, it's my turn now. Okay. Jeez. Okay. This is why Prince Charming doesn't love you. Anyhow, so we were out in the woods and there I saw like Flora was just like right there and they were just like rubbing all sorts of like different herbs and stuff on their face. And I was like, oh my God, don't do that. That's like poison oak. What's wrong with you? So like I made like a little concoction, this little cream, this little facial cream. And that's why you can see Flora now. She's got it on. It's a facial mask. And that's just going to make the pores open up. It's going to make it nice and healthy. And then you're going to see a nice, beautiful shine. And then Prince Charming might love Flora the way that he definitely doesn't love Sage.
And that's a fact. That Rosabella, she's such a dear. Oh, look at this face. Look at this. I'm a shining example of princess beauty.
You are. Oh my God, you're so much. You're just.
Oh, Rosabella, you are the best. You are the best.
Thank you.
I brought Astra along. Had to pull her out of her bedroom. She's a sweet girl too.
I've tried to explain that all Flora would have needed to do would be ask nicely. But I don't know, Sage. Maybe that's a way for you to get a prince. Maybe you can go with that direction, I suppose. I'm not saying I recommend it, but if you haven't tried it before, maybe.
I've given them fresh meat.
Well,
it's been great, I think.
You know what?
It's really not.
I will gift you an additional rosewater candy, and perhaps you could share that with someone that you care about. Well, no, if you've eaten it, it won't be there to share with them. Well, I'm glad I have more. No, don't just finish it. It's already made it in your mouth. Just finish it. Yes, that's so dear. Does anyone know which direction we're going?
Yes, I know where to go.
No, you don't. Oh my God, no, you don't. You have no idea where you're going. Ugh, just let Flora lead. What's wrong with
Rosabella,
you? This is why Prince Lovable doesn't like you.
Okay.
And this is why Prince Likeable thought that you were just okay, you know? So like you really need to stop chewing their food for them before you give it to them. That's just weird. What kind of person does that? That's not how you prepare dishes.
All of the birds in nature that find mates for life, they do it to their children.
There's a lot in that sentence that really needs to be unpacked, and I don't really want to right now.
We don't even need to get to the adventure. We'll just do this for the next hour or so. And we'll learn more about our princesses.
Flora, what is the direction we should be going?
Dear, absolutely. We need to be going that direction, and we should do it immediately.
See?
Where do you want to go?
You spend some time sleeping at this camp in the forest, and you have more of these dark dreams that guide you where you're supposed to go. And occasionally you get lost here and there, but you always know after you camp, you'll have another dream that gives you the fresh directions. After about a week's travel into this forest, you have arrived at the root-bound barrow. It's the unmistakable sight of a towering tree as wide as a house in the center of a clearing. Its massive roots form a tangled web radiating outward, and gaps between the roots look like doorways to another realm. What would you all like to do?
Rosabella, I'm a bit hungry. Do you have any food? We've been traveling for a while.
And I've been like feeding you like 4 times a day, like a good princess needs to eat. What's wrong with you?
I know, and it's almost time for the third one.
And what's the third one called? You don't even know what it is, do you?
So I don't. It's just always so delicious, and we're almost there, right? Right? We're just.
I have a
right
hatchet
about now.
Yes, I will make the way.
But for the
Dear,
food,
Sage, I absolutely believe that you should spearhead our efforts of getting into this tree thing, and
yes,
I will definitely be right behind you, right being a relative to
you are a good friend.
I'm gonna wait too, and I'm gonna go ahead and just make some sandwiches. So she pulls out her giant battle axe in a loaf of bread, and she starts slicing and slicing and slicing various pieces of bread. As
Fantastic.
Bread is always so spongy and airy. It's just so.
Oh, there's something
delicious.
airy here. That's for sure.
Well,
I showered this month. While
I'm eating, I would like to.
Prince Pleasant just really did not care.
While I'm eating this just deliciously spongy bread, might I be able to kind of sniff the air a bit and make sure that Sage is going in the right direction, perhaps?
Yeah. So Sage, you wanted to go up to the tree and start chopping through, right?
Yeah, so I do have a hatchet which chops wood things really well. Trees, trees, doors, shields, etc.
So you go through and you start chopping through the brush that has grown over this tree. And there are gaps in these roots that are incredibly large. This tree is bigger than a house. So a lot of the ripples and ridges in its growth are wide enough to accommodate you. And you clear the brush and the undergrowth away to find that there is a opening large enough for you to wedge through, a gap that opens to about a 30-foot drop, this well-like passage downward into a hollow under the base of the tree. There are roots that kind of go down that you can sort of climb down as well. So it's not like just complete drop, but it is very, very steep. The roots are slippery and mossy. Aster, as she clears this, you just get the air is stale. It's earthy, very, very moldy, a little bit of a mossy smell.
Well, Sage, the direction that you're going does seem like no one has been there in a while. So would you like me to throw you a piece of bread? Are you quite famished
yes.
after that
yes.
work?
I missed that one.
All right. So Sage, you are in the front here, and you're chewing on some bread. How would you like to proceed?
So Sage will kind of like look down the hole, look at her companions, debates fishing down this hole. Yeah, Rosabella.
Oh my God. I've been trying to get your attention forever. Jeez. Here, use this.
Quiet.
And she pulls her underwear off the top of her bag and then reaches in and takes the grappling hook out of it and see if this would this help. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if it was a grappling hook and rope, though, now that I say it.
I was going to ask.
But it's weird to give just a grappling hook.
rope.
I used the rope for something else.
It's fine to say you have
After
rope.
Prince McSteamy totally was not interested in somebody here. They were interested in somebody else. It's just,
I have a fishing kit, so maybe between the grappling hook and the fishing line.
Absolutely.
I also have fishing, which we can use both of our lines for, maybe.
And Sage, you also have a talent, I believe, that will help you here.
Yeah, so I was actually going to see if I could roll to give a little whistle and use my dice, which is my gift dice. So I'd roll both of them, I think, to do better. And summon like a snake that we can use as a rope with a grappling hook.
Yeah, that's not what I was referring to, but that would absolutely work.
I do have athletics, but I was going to do the animal thing instead.
A little bit lower.
The climbing thing.
You're a natural climber. We can break the
true.
suspense. So you get advantage on all climbing checks. But if you want to use the ability for a snake to use as a rope, that sounds really awesome, and let's do it.
Yeah, I forgot I could climb well. I was a bit busy looking at give a little whistle, so
no worries.
Okay, so I rolled a 6 and a 3, which means I do not get one of my dice back, but I do get my 3 back, and the sum will be 9.
Okay, which turns that into a success, I believe, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Let me double check here. So we'll say it's a success. Go ahead and describe what this snake looks like and how it helps you all climb down.
So it comes out slithering slowly, and you don't notice it at first. And then it rears up, and you realize it's some sort of cobra, which is probably incredibly poisonous. And then I kind of like whistle, and you see me dancing a little bit, and it kind of moves with me. And then it slithers its tail through the grappling hook that I've hooked on the side of this hole. And then it slides down, and I just grab it and slide straight down without much thought. Here we go.
And the rest of you can use this as well. We'll call it an automatic success because you're using one of your special abilities here. And this creature helps you all enter into this dank hollow underneath the tree. There is no light except for the little beam of sunlight where you have cleared the undergrowth. So right now you all cannot see very well. But I believe you all have torches. Would someone like to light one? Sage, yes, you said?
Sure. Because I'm first down there, I probably would light it right away.
And
All
so
right.
the way Aster's going to come down is she's going to try to use her shape air to try to make this, kind of little whirlwind that she can sort of float down. So like right as you get the torch lit, there's just going to be this rush of air that like knocks the torch out as she like floats down in this little bit of air. Why is it dark again?
Why? I set up my snake for you.
Oh, yes. That was a lovely snake, and I'm sure Flora and Rosabella will use it, but when you can make an entrance, why not?
Because you took out my torch.
Oh, dear. I do apologize.
Teamwork after my own heart. So you find yourselves in this hollow where the tree roots have grown into a cathedral-like cavern. It's 30 feet overhead and concave ceilings. The walls are rough as the roots continue. The taproot grows deep into the earth. The As you light up the walls, you realize that there are insect husks tucked in among the roots. As you look closely, they look like they're the leftover shells of a beetle of some sort. You notice that some of the shells are split down the back. Some of them are still sealed. Is there anything you'd like to do with that? There is also 2 tunnels that lead out in separate directions. One heading west, one heading south.
Aster would like to again sniff the air and just see if there's a direction left or right that smells like the better direction to go.
Okay, let's call this a wits test.
Okay, so wits. Oh, right. Wits was when I re-rolled with the 7. And I rolled a 19. It just smells down here.
It's an incredibly earthy smell. As you are here, you can tell there hasn't been much airflow in a while. You've created a lot of gusts that have just stirred up dust, and you're having trouble just not sneezing, let alone sniffing anything from these tunnels.
Sage, dear, take that beetle husk out of your mouth. That is not nutritious. No.
Okay. Are you sure?
I'm fairly certain that you're not going to find yourself a prince chewing on beetle husks. Dear. I know it's very sad. I cry on the inside for you. Eventually, I will. That is. But I think you should pick one of these here tunnels and make your way down and tell us what you see.
Okay, I will choose the left. I actually do have wayfinding as one of my talents, which I believe gives me advantage on kind of figuring out what the path is.
Okay, give us a wits with advantage then.
All right. That is an 8, and my wits is 9, so that's a success.
Okay, the path to the west actually has tracks through it that look to be fairly recent. Fairly small feet, barefoot, have moved through here recently. You get a smell from that tunnel that's very gross, let's say, as if there is a commode that has not been emptied of sorts, a chamber pot.
It smells like my home that way.
The other tunnel, there aren't any tracks. And as you move closer, you start finding that there is a lot of cobwebs that as you start pulling through some of them, they become thicker and stickier until they're just finally spider webs. And they cover vast parts of this tunnel. You could move through without getting stuck in the webs, but it would be slow going.
We want the smelly path.
Well, all right then, dear. You lead on. We'll be right behind you.
I have a hatchet. Let's go.
Did you say that there are some spider webs in the direction that we're going?
No, the other direction, but they're only good to eat if you cook them really well.
Oh, I was going to say, if we have any that were obstructing our path, I can just blow very hard and just knock them all down.
Well, I think that path hasn't been used in a really long time, so we probably want the smelly path.
Okay, we can leave the spiders to their homes.
All right. What is our marching order here? It sounds like Sage is going first.
Yeah.
Who's following behind? It's not a very narrow tunnel, so you can walk side by side or single file, whatever you'd like.
I think Rosabella is in the back, skinning the cobra for food for later. Just like, my God, these have so much protein. They're delicious. Oh my God. You have to cook them really well though, or else you get kind of sick, but that's fine.
Flora
Esther
would
would
be
go behind Sage.
A friend of yours, right? Like this was just like a temporary. I don't really care. Never mind. You know, when you cry like that, your eyes get all puffy, and that's exactly why Prince like Dreamy like kind of was a little bit turned off by you. So like maybe just cut that out a little bit. I'm just gonna throw that out there, you know, because we're friends, right?
Can't hold that face for very long.
I can't help but wonder if this is my fault. I was spicy with Jeff at the beginning. Now he's being spicy, and poor Kipser's taking the brunt of it. So Kipser's in front, Rosabelle is in the back, Flora and Aster in the middle. And Sage, as you start moving through this tunnel, you have a torch, and you notice it's very visible that there are trip alarms throughout this tunnel. There are strings tied with jangling trinkets, makeshift bells, bottles, bits of metal and glass are strung up along. A lot of bits of glass are broken on the ground so that if you step, it would crunch. You can move through here if you want to do it without making noise. It would require a bit of grace.
I'm not good at this. Traps.
You're good. You're good at like whatever you put your mind to. Okay, like I believe in you.
That's so true, dearie. I mean, all of us at Princess School, you know, we learn our charms. We learn. You can put it. You can do anything you put your mind to, Sage.
That's what
you just go ahead.
Really? Oh,
yeah, all of us say it. Even the
Go
princess
ahead.
who dumped you, they all say the same thing too. Like if you just put a little effort.
Raiders, all of you.
I have an 8 in grace. So
I have an 8 in grace. All right, I will continue forging ahead. I will try to like not trigger any of the traps. What do I actually have? No. All right. You know what? I'm just going to walk through, and I'm going to try to not step on the glass.
All right, give us a grace test.
Oh no. All right. Yeah, that's an 18. There you go.
So Sage takes one step into this network of strings, and the whole thing just starts vibrating and chiming. One string goes taut under her foot and then snaps, and everything just falls down. The bells ring, the metal clatters on the glass. It just echoes throughout this tunnel, and then you hear, "Hey, you hear that?" Echoing from down the tunnel.
Yeah, I hear it.
And then it goes quiet.
Did you not hear it? It was loud.
Yes, we very much heard it, and I think whoever's down there also heard that we are here.
Oh,
Yes.
So dear Sage, you understand hospitality and politeness. We need to go in there and introduce ourselves. We'll follow right behind you, dear.
my princess smile.
Oh my God, you're so beautiful. That looks amazing. They're gonna love that.
You'll charm the pants right off those fellas.
My party's gonna get me killed. I go forward.
Good thing you rolled well on HP.
No, I didn't. I rolled a 1.
I know.
Oh God.
Yeah, I was the one that rolled well. But Aster will kind of reach in her bag and she'll pull out a it's a never-ending supply of rosewater candies, by the way. And she's just gonna say, see, if you present this, it makes all the friends. There you go. You ate it again. No. Eat that one. Eat that one. Just finish that one. But you won't be hungry. And so that's good. Meeting
You should
someone on an
chill.
empty stomach can
Chill a
be
little more.
stressful. I'm going to take one and hold it. And you can just point to me and I'll present it. But now you're not hungry anymore. Because
No.
you missed a couple of the pieces of bread that I threw at you. So just wanted to make sure you were up on your calories. You're good.
Okay.
Flora has strolled past Sage at this point and is headed down.
All right, Flora, so you are crunching on this metal in the glass. It's too late to be stealthy now. You make it to the end of the tunnel, and you find that it's covered by a musty, tattered curtain. It overlaps in most places, so you can't see past. There is a slight dim glow, ever so faint, coming from the other side.
So Flora knocks on the curtain door. Hello in there. I'm Princess Flora of Mossy Falls, and I would very much love to make your acquaintances.
Ah. We don't want to meet anyone. Why don't you go away?
Well, dearie, I think you just haven't had an opportunity. We have 4 princesses out here, and we are prepared to shower you with courtly virtues and interesting anecdotes and animal friendships. Just don't
We don't
understand what you're
shower.
missing. Well, that's all right. We've got a princess who has that same affliction herself.
Princess?
Well, absolutely. Princess Sage of Crescent Cross. She is possibly the smelliest human being I have ever met. And she is looking for a fella to love. Perhaps one of you other non-showering sorts might be the one that she's looking for. You might fancy yourself to become a prince of Crescent Cross.
Give me a wits test on this. And I'll give you advantage on this because you're hitting a buzzword for them.
Okay. And I mean, yeah, because I have fast friends. That's my innate ability is getting
there you go. It works
advantage
anyways.
on, yeah. All right. Ooh, I got a 20 and a 4. So my wits is 13. So the second one passed.
Is she rich?
Well, darling, all us princesses are rich. She is richer than rich. She has a castle and a moat, and she has all the candy she can eat. Although she does prefer the furry, meaty parts to get shoved down her gall, but that's another story altogether.
All right, she can marry Chazzy. Bring her in.
All right there. Sage, dear heart, apparently there's a young fella here by the name of Jazzy who might like to make your acquaintance.
Chazzy's already taken.
Absolutely. He may or may not be a prince, also may or may not be human, but he does seem to have a particular interest in you.
Interested in love.
Interest in love?
Oh, great. I'm coming.
Or money and royal, titles. But
I have money.
I know, absolutely, dear. Why don't you go make your acquaintance with him? Let's find out what they're doing down here, and then if you so choose to, stay with whatever the hell this thing is, then that's up to you.
So the two of you at least enter this room. Aster, Rosabelle, I assume you're not far behind. You can follow in if you want. You find that this is just another cavern. It's dimly lit by a few scattered stubs of candles. And inside, you find 3 rot goblins. They have bright green skin, but you wouldn't really be able to tell because they're covered in so much filth and muck. They're completely lacking noses, just 2 slits for nostrils, and they have wide, pointy ears. Each ear is wider than their skull. There is one of them in the middle who is the only one actually wearing clothing. He's got just a pink t-shirt sort of thing on, doing the Pooh Bear. And then there is another one who is just sitting, kind of like stirring what looks to be a mud puddle. And then there's one more in the corner who's kind of leaning on a pointy stick. As you come in, the one with the t-shirt on says, "All right, I'm Chazzy. That's Chazzy over there." And he points to the one stirring the mud puddle. He kind of looks over, picks his nose, eats it, goes back to stirring the mud puddle.
Looking for love.
Yep, you can marry him. Let's get it over with.
Oh, no, full wedding, and you have to do the 3 challenges to marry a princess.
3 challenges? What are those?
It's like quest stuff my dad says I need to always require.
Require what?
You have to be able to fight a dragon. You have to be able to it's a full mud bath.
Win a race. Win a race.
Win a race?
Win a race.
Oh, is
right?
it? Oh, the second one's
Right?
win a race. Apparently, I got that wrong. And what's the third one? I never remember. Rosabella, you have it written.
You just have to like show up for the wedding. That's like the third one.
Oh, okay. Show up.
As soon as he said fight a dragon, Shazzy, the Pooh Bear one, his eyes go wide, but then he like recovers himself. Ah, hell, I've killed dozens of dragons.
Great. We'll come with you to do it.
Well, no, we already did it. So that's 1 down. So let's do the race.
Okay.
Wait. If you have slain a dragon, then you must have some evidence of the slaying of the dragon, like a scale or a tooth or a claw. What?
Yeah, we got tons of dragon teeth. He starts scratching his head, looking around, and he walks over and just picks up like a pointy rock. Here, dragon tooth, and he throws it at you. Give me a grace check to avoid this rock.
Yeah, it's totally gonna hit me in the head. Hey, 7 under 8 last
there
second.
You go.
So I would say she uses her kind of like wind breath, like right at the last second. It's about to like hit her square in the face, and she just sort of blows like a little bit into the air, and it just like the wind just stops it, and it just sort of falls right in front of her.
Hey, that's a neat trick. Are you gonna marry Jazzy?
I don't yet believe you that you actually have completed stage 1 of marrying our good friend Sage.
That doesn't matter because we did. We're doing a race now. We already. Why are you worried about dragons?
I thought you said Jazzy was taken.
Oh, yeah. He is.
Oh, yeah? By who?
Her.
What's the hot goss?
He points to Aster.
Oh.
Aster, dear, your nuptials as well? That's lovely.
That is not.
You're gonna be a double wedding. You and Sage and the
Oh.
2 goblin brothers, Jazzy and Chazzy.
That is her quest, not my quest.
Well, then, Sage, it looks to me like you're going to have to marry the 2 goblins. I'm sure that your father will be extremely happy to have 2 goblins as son-in-laws.
Okay.
Don't worry. The other 2 of you can marry me.
Oh, dear heart.
Not on the market?
I don't go to the market either.
Oh, you're a smart one. Okay. Anyhow. So she's just going to go hang out with the dude who's stirring the mud puddle.
All right, that's Chazzy. And you realize that it's a mud puddle in the most polite term. He's just stirring their filth. As you move into this cavern, you see that they have some trinkets. Doesn't seem to be much of value, but there's a lot of piles of trash and filth everywhere. If you were trying to sift through, who knows? There is an old plank that covers a 4-foot hole towards the back of this room as well. The hole, as you look at the edges of this hole, you realize that this is not a natural cavern. It looks to be that there is stone floor under the layers of filth here. And underneath you appears to be a roof that has partially collapsed.
My dear Francis, you have to forgive me. I'm having a hard time quite remembering the dream. But was the dream leading us here to this spot, into this, perhaps this collapsed house beneath us?
So, and Aster will sort of like drop her voice a little bit. and just sort of try to get all of the other princesses sort of in a little like princess huddle off to the side. Should we just have them do the race now, and then we can
Absolutely,
look while
dear.
they're gone?
We'll
Okay.
take them out and tell them they have to run to the horizon, and the first one there wins. They'll
Yeah,
never get there.
So you three can start the race, and there's another path that goes straight ahead. So the first one to go and touch the end of the path and then come back gets to win the race.
All right, so you're saying that you and I run, and if you
No.
touch it first, you marry me, and if I touch it first, I marry you.
Yeah, but you also have to compete against. So it's Chazzy and Jazzy and two.
I'm Shazzy.
Chazzy.
No, I'm
Chazzy?
Shazzy.
Chazzy.
Shazzy's who you're marrying.
Okay. So to prove that Chazzy is good enough, you, Chazzy, Jazzy, all race.
Give me a wits test here.
All right.
And we're helping, right?
You can use
We're helping with this.
D4 to give me your heart dice by rolling.
So she rolls first, and if she fails, you can spend a heart die to lower her roll by the amount that you roll on your D4.
So I rolled an 11, and sorry, you said a wits or a grace?
Wits.
A wits is a 9, so I'm off by 2. If someone can I use my own heart dice, or does it have to be a friend?
It has to be someone else.
Okay.
Who's coming in at the last moment. So you can tell that Shazzy's on the fence here, about to say no. And if someone would like to spend heart dice to help,
I'll do it.
Thank
So
you.
Flora comes in. Dear Jazzy, you have to understand, if y'all don't race, then one of you cannot meet that requirement, and there'll be no wedding. And then, let's face it, there'll be no royalty, there'll be no castles, there'll be no money. I got a 3 on the dice. Is that enough to help you?
That would bring me down to 8, which is below my wits.
All right. So Shazzy thinks about it in silence for a long, long time. You can tell that there are gears turning, but they're turning so slowly until finally he says, "Yeah, of course. That's how it always works with princesses.
Yeah.
All right, Jazzy, let's go." And they start traipsing out through the tunnels to do their race.
Excellent. Now we can search without them.
And whoever comes back can find love.
Absolutely, dear. Absolutely.
I'm
I don't say this that often, but this is one of those situations where I actually think it applies. But Sage, I think you can do better.
But you said Prince Dreamboat would never like me.
Oh no, he definitely won't.
Uh.
But there might be something better, like maybe Tugboat might like you. Like his
Really?
Dreamboat's, well, maybe. We'll see.
You
Like
think
he's
Prince Tugboat?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. After they yeah.
Will you introduce me?
Of course. Of course I'll introduce you. Anything for you.
Oh, you're the best, Rosabella.
Dear heart, I must say, even the lowliest rat catcher in the smallest, stinkiest village is going to be better than a goblin. So, bear that in mind.
Well, there could be some goblins that could be quite worthy suitors, but I don't think any of these 3 are. I agree with Rosabella.
Okay.
You'll find love. Don't worry. It's like a journey. It takes everyone just a little bit amount of time. And if you find love, you'll have to stop being a princess and become like a queen or something. And you don't want that responsibility.
Work.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So let's go search and find some treasure and stuff and hit something. That'll make you feel better. You always feel better when you hit something.
You just need to take a leap of faith, Sage. You just need to take a leap of faith right in that hole.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, that one?
That one. Just take a leap of faith in that hole and see what happens when you get down there.
Sure. I can do that, and I can journey and find love properly. and Sage will run and jump into the hole.
She is such a dear heart. Such a dear heart.
Aster's going to make a pillow of air. Aster's going to make a pillow of air that will catch Sage as she goes down.
Read to me how the pillow of air could work.
So I can manipulate an amount of my element that fits within whatever times 5 cubic feet and forms into shapes. And I can spin it really fast like I did when I floated down. And so I'm just going to do that and spin it really fast to help her settle at the bottom of this thing.
So this is a decent sized fall. Normally people would climb down because Sage, as you jump in, you realize that there was actually a rope tied to this board that could have been climbed down.
So time to roll a new princess?
So how about this? Let's
Sage is
test
fantastic.
Grace, and you can have advantage because of Aster to try and grab this rope on the way down. Otherwise, you're taking some damage.
I do also have athletics. But I will take advantage. And you want, resolve or?
Grace.
All right. I rolled a 5, which is well below my grace by 3.
Okay. So you only fall a matter of feet before you get on this rope, and it's a little slick, so it doesn't actually burn your hands. You slide a little bit, and you slow yourself, and you're able to control your descent. You go all the way to the bottom here, and you find yourself in a flooded chamber. This cavern has a very high ceiling, and the sound of dripping water echoes throughout. The floor is lined with stalagmites that jut out 5 feet out of this murky, muddy water. You're lucky you didn't fall, because there's a good chance you would have hit one of those spikes that could have hurt quite a bit. There is the remnants of a collapsed room visible along the margins. Fragments of stone masonry, bits of century-old furniture, and other rubble stick out of the water and the mire.
There's more stuff down here too. Sage, I guess I'm gonna probably have to light another torch. Or is the one I lit originally still burning?
We probably didn't take it with you, so let's light another torch, but it's okay. You can just take time to do it.
It would have gone out from the tornado, like softly landing you down anyway.
That's true. I will light another torch. And being all alone by myself in this dank hole, I will pull out my sad music box, wind it up a little bit, and listen to the music in tears while I think about love.
And what are the rest of you doing while Sage has her dashboard confessional music box going?
I can hear her. I think she's okay. She's got that music box going whenever she gets dumped. And, well, not even dumped is like too strong. But anyhow, she's alive, so that's good, right?
Well, of course, my pillow of air was going to.
Okay, I'm just going to climb down the rope. You continue.
Well, yes, I need to focus on yes.
That's great. Yep.
Everyone going down this rope is going to need to make a grace test as well.
Grace.
Flora will follow behind Rosabella.
9 under 11.
Okay. There's a point where you slip a little bit, but you catch yourself. Nothing too dangerous. You make it down into the mire. Flora, how'd you do?
I got a 19 over 11.
Okay.
No.
So you do fall. It's not your fault. You go down this rope, and the board above you snaps and breaks. You fall into the mire. You're taking 4 points of damage here.
Am I down fast enough that I can do a reaction?
Yeah, you could do a reaction.
So if I get down and then I see that my dear friend Flora is falling, I'm going to quickly go through my bag and just throw one of my goodies up and just like basically hit her with some glass and then a bubble will form around her. And so basically, this is it's really just for like armor value. I'm not sure if this would apply here, but I'm just putting a protective bubble around her as she's free falling to the ground. If that would help at all.
Yeah, is this your ability?
This is so I can do goodies. So goodies essentially lets me do a number of spells a day, certain types of spells, and one of them that I pre-rolled was bubble, which can be cast as a reaction to essentially just throw some armor on somebody.
All right, and I believe
I don't know if
spells work similar
not,
to
so.
gift abilities, where dice and sum is total of the roll. So did you roll your gift dice?
I did. So I rolled it. I at the very beginning I rolled my sum, which gives me 4. So I had a 3 and a 1, and so I can do for bubble. I have to do it again. So I have to roll my dice for that, and then I also do it the sum. So okay, so that is a 6 and a 3. So that is 9. So my 6 will go away. I'll keep the 3, but that's 9 for dice.
All right. So for bubble, then you increase the armor value by the amount of dice for the sum round. So that would be 2 dice. Your armor value goes up by 2, Flora, and that lasts for 9 rounds. It's cast as a reaction. So Flora, you would have taken 4 points of damage, but the armor value subtracts 2 then because of that bubble. So it does slow your fall and it cushions a little bit, but it couldn't take all of the momentum out, and you still hit hard, but it's a lot better than it would have been.
Flora gets up. Dear Rosabella, you are a true princess. I do believe that I might have fractured some of my ribs, unfortunate as it may be, but I think we can carry on.
I mean, like, the scars just add texture. So, I mean, that's really good. It gives a personality. So, like, the texture and then the glow together just makes you look like a person with an immense amount of depth. So really, I think it actually adds to your mystique. So you look great.
Accentuated what I already have to offer.
Exactly.
You are absolutely. Now, once Asta comes down, we'll be able to mosey on along here and see what Sage has gotten herself into.
I mean, she could always just stay up there as a lookout, you know?
Aster, what are you doing as you're by yourself in this goblin hideout?
So, I mean, the piece of wood that was tethering the rope broke.
Yeah, the wood was rotten, and it was only really capable of supporting the weight of a goblin repeatedly. So just being used a couple times, it just snapped. The wood fell in with the rope to the bottom.
Can you believe that imaginary voice in our heads just called me a fat princess? I declare you have wounded me to the core, imaginary voice in my head.
Oh my. That's just terrible. That's so judgmental. What kind of person is
so
judgmental?
Body shaming in this day and age is so gauche.
It's terrible. It's just
the
awful.
worst.
I will get my ukulele so I can issue an apology after the session.
So, I mean, Aster feels like all the fun that's being had is being had down there. So she's going to get her. Oh dear, I just closed that, and I didn't mean to close that. So she wants to, do the same thing where she kind of has a pillow of air and lowers herself down.
Okay. I think we should still call this a grace test because it takes a grace test to get down. I'm not going to give you advantage on this. I'm going to tell you that the pillow of air can replace the rope. So it'll just be a standard test like everyone else had to do.
Okay. Because I do actually think there's probably an extra step that I wasn't doing earlier with the dice being kind of rolled with the gift dice and whatnot.
It says you manipulate an amount of your element that fits within dice times 5 cubic feet and form it into specific shapes. The element must be within range and can be moved anywhere. So we're kind of stretching to say that air can support you, but earth absolutely would have. So I don't think it's really breaking the game. So I think it's fair just to say a regular grace test.
Okay. And grace is that is a 10/8.
Okay, so this is a failure, and if someone wanted to as a reaction, they could spend a heart to help her. Otherwise, you notice that Aster is falling a little bit faster than she intended with this air tornado pushing her up.
Sage would kind of like holding her music box, feeling the wind pressure change, looking up, drops it and quickly like tries to get under Aster to catch her, and will give her a heart dice to roll. I'll which one is rolling all right? I will roll this one. You get 3. Does that help you? -3 on your dice.
Yeah, -3 would get me to a 7/8.
Awesome. There you go.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh goodness gracious. That was not quite. Oh, and then she sort of finds herself just sort of like sitting in Sage's arms, like, oh, well, thank you.
I am the Prince Charming now.
Oh, yes. So very charming. See, perhaps when you go on a date with Prince Tugboat, was it?
Yes.
You can regale him with the story of saving the life of your princess friend as she fell down into the cavern.
Yes. That sounds great.
So, what have you all found down here?
I want to
remind you all
one thing, really quick. So when I say I threw a glass thing at Flora, I'm going to say instead I threw a cookie into her mouth because my goodies have to be eaten. Is that okay, Steven? Can I just say I
yeah, that's all good.
Like
that's
a frisbee, like right up there. Okay. It's
bubble is still a reaction, so you're using it correctly. It's just excellent aim with the cookie.
That was such a delicious
slingshot with biscuits on there.
Was that a cranberry and white chocolate chip cookie? Because that tasted divine, Roosevelt.
I love white chocolate chip. Oh my god! Some people say like they don't like chocolate, but like in the right combination, it's delicious, right? Like, and then they're like, "Oh, don't put fruit in cookies," but like, what do they know?
They don't know a goddamn thing.
It's true. They don't. They really don't know anything.
To remind you all what this room looks like, it's mostly full of water. There are bits of centuries-old furniture and other rubble sticking out of the mire. The walls are masonry. It was an actual room at some point, but there's a lot of dirt and filth that's just collected, lining these stalagmites with the drops that have been falling from the ceiling. And there is a ledge on the southern wall with an intact stone floor. You can see it leads to a doorway that is collapsed. There is rubble piled all the way up and roots that dig through it, or that grow through it.
Well, dear, that does look like a bit of a mess over there.
Can I just clean some of this away, perhaps? Just get a little whirlwind going? Would that be helpful?
That sounds great. Go ahead and do that.
I'm going to tell you right now, your elemental ability would not be able to get through this by itself, even if it was a different element. It's something that would just take a lot of time. You would need tools to do it without being weary. Otherwise, it's just a lot of hard work. And you'll have to roll a test to see if you become weary if you're using your bare hands.
I have a hammer and chisel.
And I have a cast iron frying pan here. Now, it might not be the best at digging, but I can definitely move a little bit of rubble in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does say a shovel or a pickaxe, and a chisel and a frying pan are close enough, in my opinion.
What about like a giant cleaver? Would this work?
So We got Rosabella cleaving through the roots.
Normally, I just use this for cutting bread for sandwiches, but like I can do it for this too.
Oh, this is great. That cleaver looks like just as good as my hatchet.
Yeah, I got this. I got this from Dreamboat. He actually gave this to me. Isn't it nice? You can even see like right here on the
Dreamboat
handle.
gave you a present?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
It's okay. Like I don't even really like it that much, but like,
okay.
But just imagine Tugboat is going to have just the most wonderful gifts that are perfectly for you.
Just for me.
For you. Just for you.
He also doesn't
sounds
chew his
great.
food. So like you two are gonna get along great.
I don't chew my food.
Exactly, dear. And he does have also the most unique body odor that attracts some of the largest numbers of flies that I've ever seen surround an individual in my entire life. Very, very musky. I think Rosabella has hit it right there on the head. Very musky fella is all Tugboat.
His flies are great protein.
I mean, it is like great protein, but like in a pinch, sure.
Yeah.
Do you want some snake?
Oh,
don't worry. It's a different snake. I found it's not yours. It's a different one.
I agree.
As Rosabella and Sage move up to this rubble to start picking through and chopping roots, Flora, you're directly behind with your frying pan to move them away. I need everyone to roll initiative. Rosabella, your cleaver comes down on a root, and the root visibly reacts and pulls away and then shoots out. All of the roots throughout this rubble come to life, and they start grasping out towards you all.
Sweet disembodied voice there in the sky. Can you tell me how to roll initiative, please, dear?
I just dropped it in Discord.
Just about to get
there.
Wits. So all princesses test their wits, and if you succeed, you act before the enemies in whatever order you wish. Whoever fails acts after the enemies. And rolling a 1 on an initiative test is a critical success, meaning you take 2 actions on your first turn.
I rolled a 19.
I rolled a 12.
I managed to get a 10 under 13.
Okay, so Flora and Rosabella are going first. And you two can decide who goes first and what you want to do.
So before that, Rosabella has an innate ability called Forager, where I know how to identify magical plants. So a root that is animated and ambulatory seems like a magical plant. Is it possible that I might know what this is?
Yeah. Do you need to roll for that? I'm sorry, you just know?
That's only if I'm scrounging for ingredients to replace a gift die. That's like the active, but it just says I know how to identify magical plants. That's all it says.
Yeah. This is a root crawler. It is a tangle of thorny roots animated by magic. You know that they have a specialty of strangling victims.
Okay. So then Rosabella, I know you want hugs, but don't let it hug you. Oh my gosh. And then we'll defer to Flora if Flora wants to go first.
Well, dear, I do believe that this is the rudest way for a day to begin. So let's see if we can't put these roots to bed once and for all. And she will swing her frying pan in an attempt to smash the roots around her before daintily taking a few steps back.
So on your turn, you get to move and take an action. Your action is to attack, and it is melee, so that will be resolve.
Well, I'm here to tell you my resolve is an 8, so this could be a very poor attempt by me. And yes, it was quite a poor attempt by me. I did manage to get a 20 on my D20.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, indeed.
I don't think... rolling a 20 only matters while defending, not while attacking, so you're okay.
Yeah, it's just an auto-fail, I think.
So as I grind my frying pan into the ground, I go, well, dag nabbit, this is definitely not going to be my day, and then I'll take a few dainty steps back away from these vines, allowing Sage to be right in front of me.
All right. And Rosabella, you're up. So Flora, you swing your frying pan. You hit the roots. It's hard to miss them here, but you just don't connect enough to actually do anything, and they keep grasping out towards you.
Okay. So I will give a roll. I'm just going to swing at it with my bread cutter. That is a 4 under 11 this time for resolve. And
That's a hit. So roll your weapons damage die,
which I believe is a D10. Yeah, it's a D10. Let me dig one of those out. And then it's 9 points of damage.
And these do not have any armor, and they have 2 hit points. So we're going to say that you take out 2 of them with that massive overkill. All the roots are coming at you. 2 of these roots you just slice right through. Your knife is always sharp. It feels like there's no resistance, and the roots just fall dead in front of you. The root of the root pulls back into the rubble. There's still more roots shooting out of here. You're not safe yet, but you've taken out a good chunk of them.
So she'll start to fall back with Flora, and she'll just like, in the kitchen, you always have to make sure your tools are sharp. Okay, a dull knife, a dull bread cutter is even more dangerous than a sharp one.
Dear, you are teaching me so much today about the wonders of the world. I declare, you may be the best of us princesses.
Just wait until I tell you about phyllo dough. Oh my gosh, it's delicious.
I cannot wait.
Light,
it sounds
airy.
delectable.
All right, so in our narrative positioning, Flora and Rosabella were closer, along with Sage. Aster didn't actually say where she was, so I'm assuming she was in the back. So now Flora, Aster, and Rosabella are in the back, and Sage is the only one at hand of these roots. So the monsters are going now, and I think it makes sense that they're all going to go for Sage because she's the one they can reach. So I'm going to attack you 3 times here, Sage. And we're going to roll resolve, I believe. I'm sorry, grace as you defend.
Grace as I defend. All right. And sorry, how many times do I need to roll?
3 times.
All right. I'm just going to use 3d20. My grace is 8, but because I have heavy armor, I reduce any incoming damage by 2 per hit. Ouch. Oh dear. Well, that is an 11, a 16, and a 9. And so I get hit 3 times.
All right. One of those could possibly be saved by a reaction if someone would like to. Yeah. Otherwise, she's taking the 3 hits.
No, I think Flora has the reaction of defend. As long as I've got something in my hand and I got my big frying pan in my hand, I can, at the last second, prevent up to the sum damage from a friend nearby from physical attack. I'll go ahead and roll both of my dice. And those are D6s, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 12. So I lose both my dice, but I prevent a shitload of damage.
Yeah.
You prevent the sum?
The sum. You prevent the sum in damage to a friend nearby from physical attack.
Okay. And I think technically that happens to a single attack, but let's go ahead and roll how much damage and see. We can fudge it a bit. So I rolled a 1, 1, and a 2. So actually, none of that damage is going through. You're getting pummeled, Sage, with the armor protecting you, with Flora's frying pan coming in, protecting you, the weaker points of your armor. These roots are just whipping and cracking at you, but none of them do any lasting damage. And that brings us to Sage and Aster.
Hatchet! Ah! And she will go after the roots with her hatchet, which is especially good against wood and trees. And I will roll, I believe, resolve for this one. So I rolled a 13 and my resolve is 12. So I miss it by 1.
All right. The roots are just moving too wildly. Your hatchet, the blade is a little bit thinner. So you probably just start pummeling it with the hilt by accident. You're just having trouble getting a solid hit. Aster? What would you like to do? Oh, I'm sorry, Sage. Are you moving back with the other group? Rest of the group?
Oh, that would be the smart thing to do, but no, I don't think Sage is doing that.
Okay, so right now Sage is still the only one up front. Aster, what would you like to do?
Aster's going to run up and join Sage. And while she's running up, she's taking her, kind of sword out from kind of its loop around her belt. And she's doing kind of a little kind of spinny to kind of get a little kind of air motion as she then swings at these roots and rolls a 19 over 12 and misses.
Anyone want to try and spend some heart dice to try and help? Oh, I guess with 19 they would.
19? No.
I missed. For some reason I had it backwards. I thought she rolled a 12. Okay. That brings us back to the top of the round with Flora and Rosabella.
Is it all right if I go first this time? I have an idea.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so she's going to go into her, she's going to dig in her little purse, and she's going to pull out some of her baking ingredients. And then she's just going to big handfuls, and she's just going to go, you get some sprinkles, and you get some sprinkles, and you get some sprinkles. As I am casting glitter spray. That was my other goodie. So this is, I shoot out an array of colorful magic glitter. Up to some, so I got to roll my die, are stunned for dice rounds. So we're going to be stunned for 1 round, and it's going to be 3 creatures. So I'm not sure.
That's all that's left. So you're stunning them all. It's as effective as possible here.
All right. And they also look very tasty because my sprinkles are on.
So does it say what the stun actually means?
It actually doesn't. I was trying to look that up on the what's it called sheet, on the quick reference.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's an actual condition. I think it's more just meant to be narratively interpreted. So we'll say that they lose their turn, and you can all have advantage against them. So Flora, you're up here.
Flora swings her frying pan down as she mentions over the tops of her swings. Sage, dear, I know that you're a bit partial to the meat. However, a little bit of vegetables in your diet might not go astray, and these roots look mighty tasty.
Yeah, with the shiny on them. That looks great.
Hey, I got a 1 and a 2, so I hit finally for a D4.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
For 4.
You're taking one of them out entirely. How are you killing the root with your frying pan?
So Flora goes in. She brings the frying pan up, side edge, cast iron, and she just starts hammering down until she smashes it flat, and then she grabs a hold of where it's flattened, and she just tears it apart and throws the end of the root towards Sage. Here you go, dear. You might find that tasty, at least as an accompaniment to one of your more feral meals.
Let's have a picnic after this.
Indeed, dear heart. I mean, I've definitely built up quite a princess appetite for something.
And it is Sage and Aster's turn now because the remaining 2 roots are stunned.
So Sage. Oh, sorry. But Sage will shove half of this root uncooked into her mouth to try to gnaw on it and loosen it up a bit. And then with the other arm, will pull the hatchet out again and just wildly swing once more. No, that is an 18.
Did you roll with advantage because it's stunned?
That is a 4. I have hit it.
All right, roll your damage.
I do 5 points of damage with my hatchet.
All right, and you take one of them out as well. What's this look like?
More food. So we are cutting it out for, and then throwing it towards Rosabelle for cooking. More food. Picnic.
Aster, it is now your turn, and you can tell these roots are starting to come back. The magic's starting to fade, but you still have advantage. They're still stunned for now.
So Aster came in so twirling the sword and all spinny, and she kind of like spun around and fell on her butt. So she's got to like stand up and like kind of spin around and try again. So she's going to roll this at advantage, and she is going to roll a 2 under 12 with her sword, which is a D8. And roll a 2.
They have exactly 2 hit points, so you're killing it.
Ooh.
How are you finishing it off?
So this is definitely so like as she's getting up, she's sort of doing the like tip of the sword in the dirt kind of a thing, as she's like spinning around, and she like swings it up and just cuts it in half.
Fantastic. And with that final root being severed, the tendrils of what's left have all pulled in, and they shift and move the rubble a little bit. The rubble's still there in a pile, but you can tell that it's been pulled out and loosened. It's no longer as difficult to move if you wish to continue through this path. What all would you like to do?
Let's have a picnic.
Well, dear heart, we worked mighty hard to get rid of those roots. Perhaps we take a stroll on down this here corridor a little ways, and then we'll find a nice place on the other side of these roots to sit down and have ourselves a picnic.
Okay.
But definitely take some of these roots with you, because I'm sure they'll be quite tasty when cooked up by Rosabella. She is a master in the kitchen.
The only way out of this room is up, through the hole that you fell through.
I will
Well,
continue
son of
to
a
hammer
bitch.
and chisel at the loosened stone and dirt.
Okay. The rest of you helping out, or did you want to?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Would never.
It's
Oh my God. I would never leave. What's her name by herself? Sage.
Oh,
So you all might not have noticed last time, but Aster doesn't really have anything to dig with, so she's just sort of in the back, kind of like chewing on candy. She's not the person that's like moving around and looks like they're being helpful, but if you actually watch them, they're not really doing anything.
just occasionally got a finger helping push a rock.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's much easier to sift through this rubble without the roots tying it all together and knotting the stones into one solid mass. As they pulled through, they left gaps. So it's just a little bit of labor instead of the backbreaking work it would have been before. You pull out all this rubble, and you find yourselves in a tomb, likely the very tomb that you have come here looking for. As you step into the heart of this chamber, the heart of this hollow, a hushed stillness envelops the air, the tingle of enchantment seeming to dance upon your breath. Every surface of this tomb is lined with twisted roots, all leading to the central throne where the massive knots of the ancient tree intertwine, pulsating with dark energy. Upon this throne, the sorcerer Velisar's body has become a parasitic part of the great tree's root system. Twisting branches weave in and out of his skeleton as centipedes scurry back and forth through the crevices of his form. Atop his ghastly skull, a delicate crown of cherry red wood sits knotted in the wispy roots where his hair once grew. His head slowly rises. You can feel the shifting and the movement in the air. You hear the creaking of bones that have not moved in centuries. You hear a voice. The crown is mine. And I need all of you to test your wits here as this magical enchantment pulsates through.
13 over 7.
13 over 9.
9 under 13.
Nice.
So how does this whole using a die thing work?
Someone has to help you. You cannot use it
Okay.
on yourself.
How
All right, never
close
mind.
are you to passing?
I'm like 4 off. It's not worth it. It's fine.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a fail.
Those of you who failed are befuddled. You have disadvantage on your wits tests until you can rest. And this is where we're going to end the session, as this white is standing up off the throne, challenging you, the Conjurer Velisar. Whew. All right. Thank you all for playing Perils and Princesses with me. I was really looking forward to this. As soon as Kipser showed me this book, I was like, hell yes, I want to play this. So I'm glad we got it to the table. It's been on the books for a couple months now, so I've been thinking about it for a while. Let's do some shout outs. Aaron, what do we got going on with Garblag?
Well, I got to tell you, dear, I'm a little befuddled by that myself. Now, I'm hoping tomorrow we'll be seeing the finale of the Marvel Multiverse Cataclysm of Kang, but that's somewhat dependent on the rest of the cast. If that's not the case, then you'll have to catch us on Thursday with Ben in the GM seat, where he will be continuing the adventures of House Dargoosh in Season 3 of Dune. Next Tuesday, I don't know, you might want to just check in or go over by Discord and take a look around, see what's going on. There may be something on Tuesday for you as well.
And if not, you'll just be right back here as we finish Perils and Princesses. Jeff, what do we got going on here with the Lollygaggers?
Yeah, man. This week, Thursday is our next game. We got Simbaroom. You can see Aaron, Melissa, myself, and Kipser in that game. Then on Friday, we got Delta Green, Steven, me, Melissa. Saturday, Call of Cthulhu, same crew as our Delta Green game. And then next Monday, we'll be back to Alien as we started up a new Alien campaign, part of our longer running universe. And of course, you can check out YouTube page, etc. Adventures in Lollygagging. We also have podcast. If any of those things sound interesting to you, sub, follow, whatever the hell it is you're supposed to do over there, and all that kind of fun stuff. And plus, Steven, there is something else that we have, but I'm going to leave that to you. Where should they go find us?
Well, why don't you just click on that Discord link that's in the chat there and come hang out with us, because I am eternally online. I never go offline, otherwise it's a bad day. And on that Discord, I'm playtesting my own RPG. Huckleberry, a Weird West RPG. It's shaping up very well. I'm quite excited for it because I've got a lot of art coming in right now. The writing is moving on to the editing stage. I'm very excited about that. I'm working with a graphic designer to start shaping up what the final book is going to look like. So it's really becoming a real product now. I'm very excited for it, but I still need to do plenty of playtesting. So on the Discord, when you sign up for the rules, there's also a little cowboy hat you can click on. Click on that, you get the playtester role, and then you can join in all the playtesting sessions that I'm running. I've got one running Saturday morning, just like 5 days from today. It'll be, by the time this goes up on YouTube, it'll be like 2 days away, something like that. So come play. Let me know what you think about it. I need all the playtesting data I can gather, which means lots of people playtesting. And I like hanging out with people and playing more games. So that's always fun. Stop me from rambling anytime, Jeff. I'm just going to go for a while.
All right. We're going to go ahead and then we're going to raid Lost Caravan RPG. Thank you, Melissa. Do you have the people who rated us tonight? I think we have Laugh Love Lindy. And scrolling back up, scrolling out.
I can't read my handwriting. Raven's Realm or something.
That's right. No, I think that's right. And no one can read your handwriting. It's terrible. You need help.
I know.
That's it. See y'all later. Have a great night. Follow the raid. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.